Most people believe holding cash is the safest thing they can do. The wealthy see it very differently. They don't distrust cash because they're reckless. They distrust it because they understand how money behaves over time. If you've ever saved consistently, avoided unnecessary spending, and still felt like you were falling behind financially, you're not imagining it. The rules of money quietly changed, and most people never noticed. Wealthy individuals did notice, and they adjusted. Today, we're breaking down why rich people don't trust cash, what they understand that most people don't, and how money actually works beneath the surface. Once you see this clearly, the way you think about money changes permanently. The first reason wealthy people don't trust cash is simple. Cash is guaranteed to lose value. It doesn't feel that way because the number in your bank account stays the same. But money isn't about numbers. It's about purchasing power. Inflation quietly reduces what money can buy every single year. Even when inflation appears low, it compounds. At roughly 3% inflation, purchasing power is cut in half in about 24 years. When inflation rises faster, that loss happens much sooner. Nothing dramatic happens in your account. No alert, no warning. Your money just becomes weaker. Wealthy individuals understand that if their money is not growing faster than inflation, they are losing value, even if everything feels stable. That's why they never see cash as a long-term store of wealth. They see it as temporary. Another reason rich people don't trust cash is because it creates a false sense of security. Holding cash feels responsible. It feels disciplined. It feels conservative. But cash encourages delay. When money sits idle, people wait. They wait for better timing. They wait for certainty. They wait for the perfect opportunity. Meanwhile, prices rise and opportunities pass. Wealthy individuals think differently. They optimize for movement, not comfort. They want their capital positioned to grow, compound, and stay ahead of inflation. Cash does none of that. In fact, cash quietly trains people to accept loss because inflation feels invisible. The loss happens slowly enough that it feels normal. Here's the part most people never hear. Modern financial systems are not designed to reward cash holders. Governments expand the money supply to stimulate growth, manage debt, and stabilize markets. When new money enters the system, prices adjust upward. Asset prices usually rise first. Costs follow. Cash holders are always last to feel the impact and last to recover purchasing power. The wealthy understand they are not rewarded for holding currency. They are rewarded for owning things that either produce value or are limited in supply. That's why wealthy families don't ask how much money they have. They ask what their money will be able to buy in the future. At this point, it's important to clear up a misunderstanding. Rich people do hold cash, but only with rules. They hold cash for liquidity. They hold cash for flexibility. They hold cash for opportunity. They do not hold cash expecting it to preserve value. The moment cash no longer serves a purpose, it is redeployed. That distinction is everything. Cash is a tool. It is not a strategy. Another key difference is how wealthy individuals define risk. Most people believe cash is low risk because it doesn't fluctuate. But volatility and risk are not the same thing. Cash has no visible volatility, but it carries guaranteed long-term loss. That type of risk is far more dangerous because it feels safe. Wealthy individuals are willing to tolerate short-term movement in exchange for long-term preservation of purchasing power. They would rather see numbers fluctuate than quietly decay. This is also why wealthy families plan in decades rather than months. They understand that money exists inside economic cycles, monetary policy, and time. Cash performs poorly across long periods of time, and history has shown this repeatedly. The wealthy don't distrust cash emotionally, they distrust it mathematically. Here's the simple truth. If your money is standing still, you are moving backward. That doesn't mean cash is useless. It means cash must have a purpose and a timeline. Without rules, cash becomes a liability disguised as safety. The wealthy learn this early. Everyone else learns it slowly, often too late. Once you stop thinking in terms of account balances and start thinking in terms of purchasing power, everything changes. You stop asking how much money you have. You start asking what that money will do for you over time. That shift alone separates long-term wealth builders from everyone else. If this changed how you think about cash, let me know in the comments. And if you want a deeper breakdown of how wealthy individuals structure money to protect purchasing power, check the link in the description.